Hi everybody, welcome back to my stream on Norden Kilt. I'm Braden. Today I'm going to be doing chicken noodle soup and a Asian inspired version of chicken noodle soup as well. Well, a vegetable version. The chicken noodle soup version is going to be for my daughter. The Asian inspired one will be for my wife and I. I have in front of me what I normally would use, minus one ingredient that I forgot, which I will be showing you. And then the ingredients, which are going to go in my, we're just going to call it a ramen version. So right here I've got celery, onion, bell pepper, garlic, what should be carrots, not actually carrots, Play-Doh carrots, because Daddy forgot. Thanks to my daughter, I could at least show what should be in here. I also have rosemary, dried rosemary from our garden. In the pot for my daughter's soup is thyme from our garden, butter, and olive oil. In our pot, I've got peppercorns and anise pods, 2 of them. I have olive oil. I actually prefer using sesame oil. My wife hates the smell of sesame oil, so since I like sleeping indoors, I'm going to use olive oil. Now for the ramen version of the soup, as far as the ingredients, yes, I would normally put in celery, onion, garlic, bell pepper, carrots. However, I also put in ginger, which I've already minced up. I have slices of ginger here, and these are the Thai chilies that I can get from the Asian market. You will learn that I love the Asian market and the international market. I'm obsessed with them, but I will also go in meaning to get a couple ingredients and come out with like $150 worth of stuff and maybe one of like the few things I meant to get and a whole lot of things I didn't mean to get, which I will demonstrate here in a moment when I pick this damn camera up and walk it to the, 3 feet to the other side of my kitchen. All right, so we've got those, we've got the ginger. This is what's going to make it the vegetable version. I've got frozen shelled edamame and then frozen organic mixed vegetables. So you've got peas, carrots, corn. This will be going in both of them. It's just that the majority of it will be going in the ramen version. And I've also chopped up bok choy, which will go in last. All right, now let's see if I can do this without breaking everything. Oh, crap, that's bright. All right, sorry for the darkness. All right, so real quick, and the mess. Now, for the soup, we have options. This is our stock. We made this stock out of like roasted chicken and when we've done roasted turkeys in the past. This will be used for both of the soups. Most of it's going to go in my daughter's though, because I've been mainly plant-based for about 2 months now. Every now and then I'll eat chicken or sushi, so fish. So we'll call it, what is it? A pescatarian? I can't remember. All right, as far as seasonings for the basic soup, we have black pepper. I put fennel seed in it. We're doing turmeric for a little bit of color. I do just a touch of crushed red pepper since it is for my daughter. When it's for my wife or I will use a lot more crushed red pepper and or cayenne, jalapenos, anything to actually make it spicier because, it's chicken noodle soup. We're normally eating it because it is a comfort food and, if, when I'm sick or when Celia's sick, I'll make chicken noodle soup. But, it is a comfort food. It's a soul food. So if you are feeling down, it does kind of help. And what I do like about it is you don't need many ingredients. You can make it quickly, unless you're me and you take all day. But it can also be modified. So if you want it spicier, you can make it spicier. If you want it saltier, which I hope you don't, you can make it saltier. You can throw in any kinds of vegetables that you want. I normally like to put mushrooms in it, as well as carrots, which, you know, like I said, I've forgotten. All right, so back to the seasonings. Now, salt, some pepper, a little bit of fennel seed, turmeric, crushed red pepper. There's the thyme, olive oil, and butter. I'm using olive oil and butter because I don't want the butter to burn. Now, you can use coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil. This is the hot sesame oil that I prefer to use for ramen. Now, as far as seasonings for the ramen, you've got a whole slew of stuff. You want salty, you've got fish sauce, you can use soy sauce. We're going to use, most likely, the low sodium organic tamari. Other flavorings, we've got hoisin. We have ponzu, so you've got your slightly sweet and sour. We have rice wine vinegar, and we have diluted sweetened black vinegar, which I just recently discovered, and it is freaking awesome. It's sweeter, not quite as sweet as balsamic, but does add kind of a smoky flavor. Now for spicy, we've got garlic chili paste. This is chili paste with holy basil, and this is a chili paste that they just call XO sauce, and it's got like little shrimp and anchovies and all kinds of little dried chilies. It's weird. It says it can be used as an appetizer. I have yet to try it as an appetizer, but I did use it in last night's dinner, and it was pretty good. Other seasonings, as far as dried seasonings, I've got sriracha out, I have curry powder out, I have Chinese 5 spice, I have white pepper out, and we also have miso paste. Miso paste will be going into my soup, as well as just a little bit of, most likely, the turkey stock, because I think it had the most carrots. As far as other seasonings that's going to go in it tonight, we're going to be doing black pepper, we're going to be doing sriracha, we are going to do the garlic chili sauce with a little bit of that, a touch of the black vinegar. We're going to skip both ponzus because I don't want to try to clash with the vinegar. Maybe a touch of hoisin, and this. So that's what's going to season my ramen tonight. Touches of a little bit of both, and we'll taste and go. Now, as far as the noodles for tonight, you can use any kind of noodle you want for your chicken noodle soup. A lot of people like using egg noodles. I prefer thicker noodles because I don't like how egg noodles reheat. I also do not like to store my noodles in my soup after the soup is cooked because they get weird and mushy and runny, and it just doesn't reheat well. Pardon me, weird camera angle while I set this back up. And yes, you'll learn I like sing-song shit. And I will hum and tap stuff. If you see me walking about when I'm out at like work or out shopping, you may notice like I'll tap my fingers, because I'll tap my fingers to songs when I get nervous and shit, or I just am uncomfortable. So yeah, nervous and shit. Anyway, if you guys give me just a little bit, well, for me, it'll be a little bit. For you, it won't. I'm gonna go ahead and get this started, and I'll be back. Hey everybody, so I'm back. You're still there. So what I've done is I've sauteed the vegetables, not the frozen ones, but all the fresh vegetables for both batches in their respective pots. Once they had been sauteed to the point where the onions and the celery are translucent, that's when I add my seasoning. That's when I add my salt, or for the ramen one, that's when I added the fish sauce and the a little bit of fish sauce, more of the tamari, but I also added my chili paste, the XO sauce that it said could be also used as an appetizer, which I did try a forkful, and it is amazing. So if you ever get a chance to come across it and you are an adventurous eater, I recommend giving it a try. It was awesome. So back to the regular chicken noodle soup. So I added the salt, pepper, I added a little bit of onion powder. So since we didn't have carrots, I put more celery in the chicken noodle soup for my daughter. She's not real big on some of the stronger flavors such as onions and garlic, and if there are large chunks of vegetables, she will refuse to eat certain foods. So I tried to use more of the smaller minced vegetables, smaller pieces of garlic, smaller pieces of onion, a little less of both, a little more powder to give it flavoring closer to what she, knows, which is canned chicken noodle soup, because she hasn't been sick since she's been old enough to eat like real chicken noodle soup. I added, after I seasoned it and let it simmer or saute for just a little bit longer, I went ahead and I added 2 of the frozen bags of the homemade stock that we had on hand. One of them is, they were both 2.5 cups, so it's 5 cups. Now, whether I use stock or water, I would normally simmer this down for hours. In my mind, chicken noodle soup and soups and chowders and gumbo, like in general, any broth or soup-based thing to me tends to taste better, it seems, after it's simmered and sat. There are probably a few out there that I don't know of that I've never tried to cook that do taste better, like when done very quickly. Like I said, I don't know what those are. I haven't tried those. If you know of one, please recommend it. I'd love to give it a try. But no, I would normally simmer the soups down. I did get to luck out a little bit because our stocks are basically, it's a soup base. We put all of our vegetable scraps in with the bones from roasted chickens, and we put it in the crock pot and slow cook it for 24 hours, strain everything out, get the liquid. So it's already very condensed, but I would still normally like to simmer it down a little longer. The ramen one, like I said, I put the chili paste and stuff in there. I put a spoonful, not an actual measurement, but like spoonful, into my pot, and basically added water till I think that the color consistency and the clarity of the water was more or less where I wanted it. And so I'm going to let ours simmer a little bit longer than I'm going to let our daughter's, because she needs to eat and I'm having fun with this. So I'm going to wait, and I want to see what happens when it does get to simmer a little bit longer. And I still need to taste it once it's cooled down to see if it needs more salt, more pepper. I did use the black vinegar, so I'm interested to see how the black vinegar and the star anise pods play into it. Now, part of this whole project that I'm working on and doing and trying to get started, or am getting started, yes, a lot of it has to do with cooking, but the other portion of it does have to do with mental health. And, yes, it's a subject that nobody wants to talk about, nobody wants to hear about. I know, boring. But, a big part of this for me is I've coped for a long time by cooking in the kitchen. And I kind of knew in the back of my head that I did it, but I didn't really acknowledge it. I've been playing around in a kitchen, helping cook or actually cooking, whether, it's just flipping burgers or just mixing eggs or, whatever. But I've been messing around and playing around in the kitchen for 30 years. I have no formal culinary experience. Everything I've done is is just firsthand experience. It's all been trial and error, and I have made some horrendous freaking dishes. But anyway, it is cooking is a big coping mechanism of mine, and I know that part of the reason is because it allows me to be creative. If you give me something where I can be creative, I'll be happy as a pig in shit. I mean, like, holy crap. Like, give me paints, give me music, give me, there's media that I'm not good with, such as photography. I'm still learning video editing. But I mean, like, I love art. I love creating music. I love creating food. I love feeding people. When I'm down, it makes me feel better when I make something, even if I don't think it tastes good. It makes me feel better if I feed someone else and see the expression on their face and know that even though I might not think it's good, like, whoever is eating it, that is going, okay, well, at least they think it's good. And I mean, it helps. The creative process helps for me. If you spend any time around me, you pretty much know or will learn that, like, I do everything to music. Like, I listen to music in the car, I listen to music at work, I listen to music at home, I listen to music while I read, I listen to music while I draw, work out, like work on art, cook. Like, I listen to music a lot. It's a big part of it, and the music and cooking has helped me a lot because it's something I've been able to do alone, which I've done a lot of things that way. Cooking also helps in another aspect. It has helped with my addictions. Mainly because it's helped alleviate boredom. Boredom is such a fucking trigger for addicts. It really is. Like, I'm great if I can keep busy and if I can keep moving. Some people will vouch for it. I've been at people's houses, and yes, sometimes it's been because I'm nervous. Sometimes it's just because I don't know what to do with myself. But I will end up cleaning your dishes or helping do something just because it does keep me busy and it keeps my mind occupied. Cooking helps with that a lot. Painting has helped with that a lot. I hadn't been too good about varying my coping mechanisms for a long time. It was just one thing and then cooking. But cooking does help keep me from being bored. I mean, if you are new to cooking or you're just thinking about picking it up, and I mean, whether it's actual cooking with pots and pans and knives and on a stovetop, like that kind of cooking, or if it's cooking like baking, or if it's you want to make desserts or whatever. I mean, if it's something that's going to keep you busy that will help, I mean, give it a shot. If you've never made chicken noodle soup before, give it a shot. It's stupid easy. Anyway, so back to the soups. I'm gonna let these simmer a little longer. I'm going to go ahead and make a batch of noodles for my daughter's soup. Let ours simmer about 5 minutes before I pull our soup off. I'm going to add the bok choy so it starts to wilt, but not so early that it turns to mush. I will cook the noodles. I will strain the noodles, rinse them in cold water because I'm using an organic. It is not udon, but it is very similar to udon. But I've noticed that with hot soups like this, if I boil them and then strain them and throw them in the soup hot, they turn to mush. But if I boil them, strain them, rinse them in cold water, and then throw them back into the soup hot, into the bowl of soup while the soup is hot, then they maintain some firmness. Real quick, I will go ahead and give you a peek into the two pots. And yet again, sorry for shaky camera angles and such. So this is just the regular chicken noodle soup. Yes, it is a small batch because I'm running out of room in the fridge because we've got a lot of freaking leftovers that we're not able to eat. So if anybody needs soup tomorrow at work, let me know. I will see if I have enough containers and bring some. This is the ramen one. that is the regular one. I'm going to go ahead and start noodles for my daughters and get her fed. I'll let this one simmer longer. Move you. Move you. And then I will start noodles on that eye. Everybody, I just wanted to say thank you again for joining me. I will post pictures of the final product. I'm not going to video doing noodles. I'm sorry. You can find YouTube videos or something else of somebody cooking noodles, but I'm not going to video that. I'm ready to eat, and I'm ready to spend time with my family. Everybody, thank you again. If you've enjoyed this, please like, share, and follow. And everybody, be easy on yourself. Good night.